Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon, and you're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Oh, hold on. We got to get that off. Hello, and welcome. There we go. Hello, and welcome to the Owl Show right here on BKS1 Radio. It's your girl, Latoya Chanel, and of course, I am with my partner in crime, my bestie right here, Miss Queen B. We are here on a lovely winter Tuesday night as we are winding down this year and winding down all things that have happened this year. But before we go into that, first and foremost, Miss Queen B, how are you today?
I am blessed. I'm going to just say that.
Yeah?
It's been a trying set of days.
Woo, sus!
It's been a trying set of days, but I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
We are moving. We literally have how long to the new year?
A month? Like a month. We have a month until the new year. And, you know, that means we got some time to turn some things around, get some things right, or revamp before 2022 begins.
Right. So, yes. I don't even know. This is so funny because, I mean, we talked about this in the beginning of the year, and now we're going to talk about it a little bit, but I just don't even, did you even do resolutions or anything this year? I don't remember if we did.
You know what? Honestly, I don't even remember the beginning of 2021. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing or what thing, but
I remember in the beginning of the year, we felt like 2020 was in the beginning. We were thinking positive, but we thought that 2021 was like the finishing of
2020. It was like 2020 Junior.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And it very much so has been 2020 Junior.
Right.
I am though looking forward to 2022 and what it has to bring, and you know, praying whatever it is our viewers believe in, hoping, praying, wishing, manifesting, whatever it is you want to call it, that 2022 will be better than the last 2 years, because child, you know, that's about all I can say about it. I do want to go into what this year has brought, but I'm just, you know, this is after we figure out how you're doing, what's going on with you, and you know, all of that.
I'm good. I cannot complain. Again, you know, I'm doing my master's program, so I'm chucking. I just finished the semester off. Yay! Just finished the semester off. Yeah. So while planning a wedding, I have to chuckle. Planning a wedding, doing my master's, working.
Yeah.
And getting ready for some life-changing things, you know, health-wise.
Sis, you have 10 million things going on that everyone would be like, what? You know.
What?
So.
Yeah. So I'm doing it. That's what's going on with me. You know, transparency is our thing. So that's basically what's going on with me. Yeah. You know, nothing major, nothing minor, but I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. All right. Color purple. I'm here.
Yes.
Look. Okay. All right. Listen, I understand. You know, That's all I got right now. Is a
sigh.
Yeah. I think I've sighed about 32 times today. I think I sighed so much. My mother actually called me while I was at work, and she was like, "Are you yawning on the job? You shouldn't be yawning at work." While I was talking to her, I was like, "Ma, I wasn't yawning. That was a sigh." And she was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, that's about all I got for it. But I'm here. I'm here. Press forward to the mark of the high calling. Okay.
Yes.
What else can I say that they say in church? Run on and see what the end is going to be.
That part. See what the end.
See what the end is going to be. What else I got? I don't know.
It said, believe I'll run on.
I believe I will. I can't think of any more church colloquialisms right now, but all of them, just throw them out there. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right now. All of those. So, yeah, like that's all I got. I don't have anything much more than that. But while we were talking about the year 2021 and going into it, I did want to start by, like I said, I don't quite remember too much about it, but I will say that I played the clip earlier. So for everyone who saw the promo clip that I played a little earlier to advertise, our show and that we were coming on tonight. We were in the middle of this year. We were in the middle of this year, and we were talking about. Hold on, you could change it. I could change it right now. Okay, sorry. We were talking about in the middle of the year. It was actually September. It was towards the end of the year. How 2021 had been going. I'm sorry, sis. Are you drinking on air from a bottle?
Wine. Oh, the little wine. Is that type of day. Listen, our followers know it's wine. It's wine.
Norm said he's sending you another bottle of Ciroc.
Thank you, Norm. Thank you. Actually, I have it. I can locate it. I have yours right here. And Norm, did I tell you I appreciate that?
You're welcome. I can't.
I said this got to be Norm. Like this Norm right here.
I can't right now. I can't. All right. Well, go. You know what?
We
sis?
here.
Go ahead. Do what you need to do tonight. You know what? I think I got a shot of something in my bag. Should we do this together? Should we do this? Look, hold on. Let me see.
Do you? Hold on. Because we just toast. Actually, let's toast on the air. How about that?
Wait, I don't know if I have it.
Do you guys? Norm got something.
Wait, no, he don't.
Norm got something. You got it, Chanel?
No, sis, I don't
we
have
toasting
it.
tonight.
I don't have it, sis. I don't know what happened to it. I don't even know what happened.
Norm
to
don't got nothing on the fumble Norm pocket.
No, I don't know. I thought I did. I don't. Anyway, let's go. What I was saying before that.
Yes. Sorry about that. My bad.
Comedic interlude we had right there. Is in the promo that I did for tonight's show, we started talking about how this year had been a karmaic year.
Yes.
You said that in the clip that I played, that this year had been a karmaic year. And I want to go back to that, and I want to delve into that a bit, and I want you to just go into a little bit about what you meant by that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you want me to go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, when I say karmaic, it just, just to break it down, karma,
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like a lot of what you sowed, you reaped, in this year. There's a lot of things that happened or transpired or just that are, I told you the other day, I felt like this year was an awakening like in some form of way too. Like
Yeah.
nothing. It's always your saying of throw out what you think you know, because when you think that this year is going to go one way,
Child.
how now, brown cow? You know what I'm saying? Surprise.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. But there was a lot of, things like PPP loans, those people that got those.
Shut up.
They went to jail.
You know what?
Some of them.
I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not.
Um,
I'm not. If I had a laugh track, I would press the button right here. You know what I mean? But
I just saw someone getting sentenced to 9 years for that. You don't mess. My mother said you don't mess with those people's money.
You don't. You don't do that.
And
you don't do
yeah,
that.
you shouldn't have did that. Especially if you didn't have the means and you were just going to ball out.
Right.
But no, on the flip side, I was joking with that, but I just felt like, kind of what you reaped, what you sowed, you reaped. And I just felt like it was one of those years that a lot of people reaped in grief, a lot of people reaped in just so many ways, in so many ways. So it's just karmic, just means, things came back to you. And if you thought you were going to keep secrets or do whatever, I just feel like you were exposed.
Yeah.
You were exposed.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely say that it was an awakening. And it's funny because, you see it all over social media. You see the memes where they were like, somebody was like, is it me or did we learn a lot about relationships, friends, family, people, this, that, or whatever this year? And I could not agree more. It has truly been, I guess it's almost like you say it, an awakening where things are just different. Things are very, very different.
Unfamiliar.
Yeah.
And this part honestly it's an uneasiness. It doesn't feel good.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't.
There's no surety,
Nothing.
In anything.
In things that were once foundations.
Absolutely.
That part. In things that were once one of our other friends said that may have been safe spaces.
Mm-hmm.
In areas where like you said, well, this is a sure thing, so you don't have to worry about this. Or
it's that year that was like, nah, we gotta worry.
Right. And it's crazy because when you are putting your life together and building your life up, I know for me personally, right? I know one of the ways I am able to do what I need to do on a daily basis is, constantly doing the checks and balances, right? And it's like, okay, this is here and this is this. This is here. This is this. This is here. This is this. But I got this window right here of BS that I know I got to deal with over here. So I can manage that. Over here, the window might be smaller. I got this window of BS that I got to deal with over here. But I know what it is. And because I know what it is, I'm good with it. I can manage it. I can deal with it. So therefore, when all of this comes from over here, I already know what I got to deal with right here. So I'm still able to stay in some sort of balance and maintain and do what I need to do and stay in a safe headspace, right? A balanced headspace where I can manage it all. Because what we fail to realize as men, as women, as people, black people, white people, whatever, all of it is a juggling act, right? All of it is a juggling act for everyone. You're juggling your job, you're juggling your relationships, you're juggling your kids, you're juggling your friendships, you're juggling whatever trauma you dealt with, you're juggling your finances, you're juggling your goals and aspirations, you're juggling, and all of that is literally someone standing here doing this 24/7 all of their life, trying to make it all work and come together, right? And I felt like this year for a lot of people, there were a lot of extra. Somebody came by and kicked you in the knees while you was juggling.
That part.
You know
Very
what I mean?
great way to say it.
You know, like you juggling on one toe in the center, balancing on one foot, and somebody came by and kicked a lot of people in the knees this year. And and it's a lot. And it's a lot. And so you know, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I just think, like you said, it was, I think the word balance is what, you always got to get back to your center. Whatever you're going through, you're supposed to be able to get back to your center. Yeah. And I think that's what's been happening with a lot of people. And it's just not you. It's just not me. It literally is one of those type of years that, a lot of people have been uncentered. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we're trying to get back to the center, and it's just not working.
And for me, it wasn't. For me, it was not 2020. For me, it was 2021. 2020, even in the midst of the pandemic and everything that was going on, I was still pretty even killed. For me, it was 2021 that was just like, wait, what? Wait, huh? What are you talking?
So I've had, I think, graduating for me was a great thing. Yeah. It was a long time coming, and if you knew my story, then you'd understand why it meant so much. But then going back to school as well, I'm grateful to be able to do that. I'm grateful for the pandemic because it did allow me to do a great deal of things, work from home, not have to travel as much, save on gas, and made me a hermit almost. Like, I don't want to go out, but other than that, the pandemic in 2020 has proven to still be okay. Yeah. I had a couple more things I want. I'm gonna be honest that I'm still petitioning for, that I want, and that I'm still praying to God, Allah, whomever you call him or her or it or the being. Yeah. But I'm praying for up until the last close of the new year. I mean the last day of the new year, the end of the year. Yeah. But I am always extra grateful. I'm always pushing. Yeah. I'm always setting more and more goals. It's like when I get finished with one, I gotta do another
you
one.
To the next.
I think we did get back to being family, like we said, during the pandemic. But then soon as the pandemic, where it's kind of like everybody's true colors kind of came out again.
Right. So and you know what? And I wanted to talk about that. I honestly feel like we have learned nothing. And the only reason why we know we were in a pandemic, everyone who suffered whatever kind of great loss it was, if it was someone very close to you or near and dear, or those who lost employment or homes or whatever the major loss was, obviously those people are set apart, and that's different. But for the rest of us that did not suffer the major losses, and just had to go through it like everyone else, as far as having major changes in your schedules and having to wear the masks and get the tests and the debates over vaccines and this, that, or the other, and then just watching all of the trauma going on around us, it changed nothing. It changed nothing. I don't feel like many of us got anything from that at all. And of course I am nowhere near God or anything like that, but it's almost like the arrogance of human beings. And how dare you see how fragile you had an enemy, a threat that you couldn't even see, that you were afraid of and running from on a daily basis, and you were afraid for yourself, and you were afraid for your family, and all of that fear and love that was put out, so much love. There were campaigns on love, campaigns on family, people begging and wishing and crying on the news and the radio to see family and to see friends and to just go out and just to be amongst people again. And by the grace of God, because that's what I believe in, but by the grace of God, we, the ones who are left here, you know, we're blessed enough to see that. And it seems like we've gotten worse. It seems like we have gotten worse as human beings, and not just in our area. I mean, just across the country, across the world. Like I was watching videos of teenagers in Atlanta doing all of these carjackings, and like young kids too, doing all of these carjackings and rolling up on people at the gas station and stealing pocketbooks out the car while they're pumping gas on the other side, and people breaking people's car windows and dragging people out the cars. And I'm like, is this really after a pandemic? And then I was watching a video just last week of stuff going on right here in Plainfield.
Oh yes, I saw that on YouTube. Yes,
of people carjacking people, stealing cars, and beating people up on the side of the road. And I'm sitting there watching video after video after video. And unfortunately, in that video, they were attacking a lot of our Latin brothers and sisters. And I'm watching this, and I'm just like, and then you got to take it from just, you know, things in the public eye and the news and all of that. And then you got to take it to, of course, you know, all the personal relationships and things we know and things we've experienced and all of that. And it's just like, people have literally lost their minds. Like, absolutely. It is like the audacity of us as human beings, those of us who are still here. For some of us, it's a second chance. For some of us, it's a third, fourth, fifth, because some of us should have died years ago binge drinking, or that time we was driving drunk or almost rode off the highway, or you know what I mean? So it's like, and not to get preachy or whatever, but this is literally, technically we're not out of a pandemic, but I'm just going to say post-pandemic for the sake of conversation. But yes, we are literally 2 seconds post-pandemic, and people have lost their minds. I just feel like we have learned nothing. And even though 2020 was horrible and most people were living in fear and uncertainty and loss, I feel like we still had character. I feel like we still had morals. I feel like we still had values. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, the year changed. People was just like, oh, okay, well, you know what? We're back. So now I can be an even bigger whatever than I was before I was afraid. You're right, Crystal. People lack compassion and they are desensitized. And you know, Wayne says some can't handle the pressure, and it's just like, I feel like this is the end of school days, and I want to run around screaming, "Wake up!"
Wake up! Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I want to run around screaming, just wake up, just screaming like to the top of my lungs. And it's like, how dare you not walk and live in gratitude and be trying to grow and move forward and move in love? And how dare you? I'm not saying fear of the pandemic should have wiped away everyone's trauma or whatever it is you deal with, but I mean, damn, like, really? Child. That's just my rant. I'm gonna step off my soapbox right now.
So I'll just tag me in. I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. The value, we don't value life anymore.
We don't value humans anymore.
We don't we don't value other people's feelings. We don't value genuineness, kindness. We don't value, we take for granted a lot of things.
Yeah.
We take for granted a lot of things. And unfortunately, that is just how life has become. It's just that now. Yeah. I'm grateful for every single thing. I'm grateful for, I just was saying the other day to my fiance, like, I never forget where I came from, what got me to where I am now. Yeah. I could never look back and just not realize how far I've come. Yeah. Just everything, things that used to be so hard for me to do or accomplish or just have become a lot easier. And I'm grateful for that.
But not even things to do and accomplish. Most people nowadays have a problem being. Mm-hmm. They have a problem being. Even if they don't have a problem doing, they have a problem being. People are having problems being a good person, being a kind person. They might do some nice things, but they have a problem being genuine people, loyal people, good people. A lot of people are really suffering from that and have issues with that. And that's the part where I feel like, how dare you, after living through something like that, how dare you be on the other side of this, maybe on the other side of this, and not recognize that.
Right. Right.
Just as a
that's
human.
the part.
Just
that's
as a human.
The part that I think we failed to. I just learned, honestly, I wanted to talk about this. I just learned that there is another strain of
Omicron. Is that how you say it? Did I say it wrong?
What did you say?
It's Omicron, right? Okay. Oh no. No. I'm like,
what'd you say? What'd you say, Chanel?
No, the variant. The variant is the Omicron.
The variant.
Yeah, the Omicron. Omicron variant. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. So that part.
Yeah.
That part. There is another one out. So we need to be very mindful and very careful. It said it derived from Africa.
Yeah.
From Africa.
Look, everybody in the studio said, yeah.
Give or take. But yes, that's what they said.
Yeah,
that's what they said.
Yeah, that's what everybody in the studio was like, yeah, like
that's what they said. Well, guys, before they said China, right?
Yeah. See, so that's just like
I don't know.
My point is, now that we somewhat know what we're dealing with, not only do you need to adjust accordingly physically, but you should be adjusting accordingly mentally and emotionally. You understand what I'm saying? Like we kind of somewhat know what we're dealing with. Now, again, we never know, like, will this variant be if you touch something? It's by this.
We
touch.
Don't know.
This is airborne. That's this. This is that. Whatever, how you get it, that part we don't know. That's science. But, huh? Yeah. All codes will come through that way, right? Yeah. Yes. So we know that aspect of it, but when do we start the process of adjusting mentally? When do we start the process of adjusting emotionally, where it's like, oh, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to act like this now, or maybe I'm not going to take this particular situation or circumstance for granted, or maybe we should all be grateful because we were crying to be around people just a year ago. How many commercials where people was driving by people's houses waving and crying because they couldn't see them and they couldn't touch them? You know what I mean? Like people, I can't see my mother in the nursing home. And they got commercials with Nana waving on the other side of the glass like she was in prison. And you know, and the grandkids outside with masks on. You know what I mean? And now... And now we're back to, you know, now it's like, who gonna go see grandma in the nursing home? I don't feel like it. I don't have time. I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to, you know, like, it's like how quickly we as human beings forget, you know.
Forgot. Yeah.
You know, God.
I want to read what Wayne said. So Wayne
Yes, I was about to read that too. Go ahead.
Oh, you was?
Yeah, go ahead.
The pandemic has truly separated the world. When you're stressed out, how can you have compassion for others? It has destroyed relationships, separated us from our families, friends, and destroyed our social beings. How can we? So I agree with you.
Let's go back to when you're stressed out, how can you have compassion for others? Go ahead.
Well, you compartmentalize a lot of things. That's what you do.
Of course.
You actually put everything in its place and you put everything where it's supposed to be.
So you only deal with human beings when you're happy?
Because love is love, and love comes from a different vein. You got to pull love even when you don't feel like it. You got to pull love even, you know, though it doesn't feel right, or you know, there are so many times when I have been stressed out and a friend calls me and I totally, forget about what I'm stressed about, and two, I could just be finished crying and I'm on the phone and I forget about whatever. That's the same vein you have to love in. That's the same vein that you have to show compassion with. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's no way. Can you do it? Of course you can. Of course you can. You ever raise kids with a broken heart?
Child.
You ever lose something? Like, come on, let's be real. Can you do it? It ain't impossible. It ain't impossible.
Child, you stopped me on that when I was about to talk and you said that, and I said, listen.
I'm just saying that there's a lot of detrimental and just things that we've gone through, hard core things that we've gone through, and you still decide to love anyway.
Absolutely.
It's a choice, right?
It is a choice. It is a choice.
It's a choice.
You may not have, when you're going through it and you're stressed out, and regardless of if you have the energy or not to do certain things, even for yourself. I mean, I'm not talking about severe depression. You understand what I'm saying? But because, you know, someone who is clinically depressed, that's another class. But, but, you know, stressed out, life stresses because of whatever may be going on, you absolutely can have compassion for others. And Wayne just said it. You're right. If you're mentally capable to do so. If you're mentally capable to do so. If you were the type of person that when you were stressed out, you have to completely shut down, go in a shell.
Oh, that. Yes.
You know, that's different. But being stressed out and having I wouldn't say having compassion. Now, being stressed out and actually wanting to be there for others is definitely something different. You know, you may not have the capacity to want to be a part of someone else's life at that particular moment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like celebrating, or I don't feel like doing this or the other, but that definitely should not change your compassion. It definitely should not change your level of care and concern. So no, I may not want to pop bottles with you, and no, I may not want to just be, you know, in a happy celebratory mood with you, and not because I'm jealous of anything you have, but I'm just not in that spirit. I'm just not in that mode. You understand what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
But as far as compassion for something that you may be going through, just because I'm going through something too, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can feel for you the even while I'm going through myself.
Absolutely.
Even while I'm going through myself. And unfortunately that's a part of life. Unfortunately, that's just a part of being a human being. And that's just a part of living, you know, having to figure out because what's on the other side of that if you don't do it, right? What's on the other side of that is either the standoffish person or the person that takes out their stress on everyone else. You know what I mean? Well, I'm going through, so therefore I can be mean and nasty to you. I'm going through, so therefore I can mistreat you. I'm going through, so therefore I can abandon you. I'm going through, so therefore I don't have to be there for you either. I'm going through, so therefore I can disappear. You know what I mean? So that's what's on the flip side of not having compassion while you're going through too. And I'm glad Wayne brought this up because you cannot be like that. You cannot be like that. Like I you know what? Go ahead, sis. You Look, go ahead, sis. You take it away from here, cause I'm just like, no, you can't. You can't. Wayne was saying people are mourning still.
Oh yeah.
And I completely understand it. That people are still kind of moving here. I understand it that that people are still mourning, and unfortunately, as long as we're here and people continue to leave, we're going to always be in mourning.
Absolutely.
For something.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, as long as you deal with human beings, you're going to always be stressed out about something. But you definitely cannot use that as an excuse to mistreat other people. And definitely can't use it as an excuse to mistreat the people who are closest to you. Which unfortunately a lot of people do. Unfortunately a lot of people do that. And that's not right. It's common, but it's not right. You know? So I don't know. I just feel like we definitely have to get back to morals and values. And I will say that for me, 2021, with the way a lot of things have been happening, has completely thrown me off.
Okay.
Completely thrown me off. And I'm just like, what? Like you ever stand in the middle of a tornado and you in the eye and you looking around at like all these things happening around you and you like, wait, what? Well, what can I do? And if you're in the middle of a tornado, you can't go this way, you can't go that way. You got to stand still. You got to stand still. You got to stand still. So that's my little bit of 2021 and why I'm hoping 2022 or hell tomorrow, December 1st. Even December 1st can be different for me. Shit. I mean, hell, whatever. Right. At this point, but definitely within the new year, you know. So, that's just my 2 cents on it.
I'm hoping for better days for everyone.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of sickness going on. Just not, the pandemic sickness as far as COVID, but there are a lot of other things, like a lot of people being plagued with cancer.
Yeah.
A lot of people being plagued with just a lot of heart conditions and things like that. So,
Absolutely.
my prayers and everything goes out to all of those people. Life is extremely hard, but I think that we should get back to making the plight of someone else's easier. Reach back, teach back, go back. Just do whatever you can do to make someone's plight a little easier.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten away from that, and
well, that's the compassion part. We don't care.
We don't care. And we're so consumed. Like, don't get me wrong, life is crazy. So we're so consumed with, whatever goes on with us, with us, my family, with us, but what I will tell you that I have done with this year that I've done in no year, and it's not me acting funny or it's not me, but I've literally stayed quiet, stayed shut. I've observed and I've sat back. And I've opened my ears and not my mouth so much, you know what I mean? And I've been in rooms where I just listened, you understand? And it's just, I don't know. I think that my approach to life definitely will be different in 2022. A lot of changes, a lot of a lot of steps back, like 3, 4, 5, steps back. And I'll be present, but not present. If you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'll be present, but not present. And I think mental health, where we said this, like, for the last years, we preach, mental health. We preach us, taking a step back. We preach, I'm not doing that. We don't have the bandwidth right now.
Right.
And only you know what drives you, what motivates you, what crushes you, what kills your insides. Just, whatever you feel, and you actually are the author of that. That what you can receive, what you could take. So it's very important that we understand our own mental health.
Yeah.
Prior to trying to figure somebody else's out and helping someone else. I do realize that we have to take account of what we go through in our own way.
Absolutely.
So it's important. I do see that kind of piggybacking off what Wayne said, but there has been post-pandemic, there's a lot of people that have committed suicide. Suicide is on an all-time high.
Yep.
Due to health, finances, just being alone. There was a lot of depressed kids because of school not being in session. There was a lot of depressed people that weren't able, that thrive off of the feel and the touch and the talking of
the connection
of the connection of humans. And that was a hard thing. So I just, if you got the bandwidth, take on what you can. If you don't, then don't put it in your lap.
Yeah.
That part. That part. But loving and living is something that I plan to do. Oh, something I plan to do.
Loving and living.
Yes.
In 2021 are so different for me than it has been the rest of my entire life.
Okay.
It looks different to me now.
Okay.
And I don't even have a full picture yet. It's still really fuzzy and hazy, but it's not the picture I had before. It's very different now. Very different now. So I got to work on creating what that looks like and what that is supposed to feel like at this point. You know, because it shifted for me this year.
Okay.
Yeah, it shifted in a number of areas. I mean, even career wise and loving what I do and how to go about getting the best out of that. You know what I mean? There's a number of areas where I'm like, ooh, take a step back. Let's relook at some things. Just across the board, you know? So.
Wayne, I just want to say, because he said people are mourning still. I lost my mom 3 years ago and I haven't found my way clearly just yet. And my heart definitely goes out to those people. I have the privilege of still having every parent that has had a hand in raising me or birthing me. I still have them. So I do not take that for granted. I don't, you know, whether I have the best relationships or just mediocre relationships, I still am grateful that they're still here.
Yeah.
And I don't have that story. I know all of us, if we live long enough, we will have that story. Absolutely. But Wayne, I understand that sometimes, I do understand that sometimes when losing a parent, not sometimes, all the time when losing a parent, I know that it's something you never get over, you know. It's something you never get over. You bear with it, but you never get over it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You never get over it. And then those people that lost two parents, or it's just I know it's like a double whammy. So my heart goes out, and you never seem to get over it. It just gets bearable, you know. But it's
sometimes
those emotions.
For some people,
but counseling, I will always recommend counseling. I will always recommend, pouring your heart out to somebody or crying as much as you have to. It's so crazy. Like, people really don't cry. Like, they won't let it out, or they don't, and it's grief does not have a time frame. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think, it's been 10 years and I'm still, let me tell you something. I'll always remember my mother, who lost her mother. She lost her mother when I was like 2.5 years old. And I always knew when my grandma's anniversary was coming up, because it's just something that my mother went through mentally during that time. That it just was off. It was an off time for her. And I would look at the calendar and be like, that's her date. That's her birthday. That's something. I'm grateful to see the holidays. I don't know, and I always don't understand what this is attached to, but as much as I love like Christmas time, I am really emotional during Christmas time. I've always been like that since I was a kid.
I mean, I think holidays evoke emotion in a lot of people. And, we talk about that usually every year right here on the show. And every emotion isn't a happy emotion. A lot of times for most people, it evokes a lot of sad, depressing emotions for a lot of people. A lot of people attribute the holidays to time periods in their life where they were supposed to be happy and yet they were not for whatever reason. Maybe it was someone you lost at that time, or someone that maybe was still here but you wish they were around at this time, or they weren't. Some people, it has to do with
nostalgia. I think what happens is that I have great memories of Christmas when I was a kid. Like excellent memories, like when your siblings and you are still in the house, and and my mother I would wrap the gifts with her, and I would hear my mother humming and cooking like the greens early in the morning or whatever, and cook us breakfast and do everything or whatever. But it's just I think I go back to those times, and that maybe makes me sad, because I just think it's just a beautiful, like, it was just such a good time when I was younger. Yeah. It was such a good time. Yeah. It was such a good time. Putting the tree up, gifts under the tree, just everything to be grateful for. You know what I mean? Like, I think nostalgia kind of, gets to you too.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely normally very
bubbly
and happy during this time of year, but this year is a little different. But yeah, I do understand how for most it's holidays are not a good time. And I've come in contact with a lot of people where holidays triggers emotions.
Yes.
It triggers depression. It triggers sadness. It triggers loss. People you still want to be here. Things you did not have. Things you may want to do this year. There's a lot of pressure around the holidays for people to perform or do or have. And, if you don't, then you deal with the pressure of not being able to do that. So it triggers a lot. It triggers anger. So it's definitely not a good time for a lot of people. Like I said, historically for me, I love the holidays because I typically love the family setting and the celebrations and just fun times and laughs and all of that. I look forward to that. I value things like that. Those things don't cost money. You don't have to go out to Short Hills Mall and buy that.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for that to have those memories. But like I said, I do understand that for most, they don't care nothing about that.
I'd like to, when we come on again, I like to do some resolutions.
Okay.
Or some people just don't call them resolutions anymore, but I'd like to do some resolutions.
Okay.
And
we can do that throughout the month of December. And figure out we know what, we're not going to call them resolutions. We're going to do some.
Yes, that's what I said. We got to change the name.
No. We're going to call them some manifestations. We're going to manifest some things.
Fine.
We're going to manifest some things in 2022 because we have gotten off of our manifestation train. We used to be big on that in manifesting things we wanted to happen in our lives and things we wanted to see and how we wanted things to move in our lives. And then, we got to the point where we kind of fell off of that. So I think for the month of December,
let's get back to that.
On the show and off the show, behind the scenes, we need to get back to manifesting some things for 2022 and just ushering in a great and prosperous and productive year.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
So,
do you know of anything that you want to do in the next year? Just one. Tell us one thing.
Nope, I know nothing right now. I don't know anything. Today.
One thing.
I don't know. On November 30th at 7:57, I don't know nothing. I ain't got it today. But maybe by next week, by next week, because we got some big, great days that are coming up. So maybe by next week, I'll be in a, and this and that and this and that. And normal Toya. But today,
well, you better get your speech ready. That's all I'm going to say. Is that ready?
Oh, yeah. On today, I had a friend that said, I hate when people say on today. But on today, on November 30th at 7:57, I ain't got it. I ain't got it.
You ain't got it?
Oh,
good.
I ain't got it. Maybe next week. So, listen. We are here. So, I'm assuming we won't be here on the 14th. At least you won't be anyway.
Yes,
December
I won't
14th.
Be, yes.
So,
I will be in bliss.
We probably will not have a show December 14th, everybody. But we should be here next week. Same time, same
Time,
place.
same place.
You know,
Yes.
different show. Hopefully you all will be here with us. Thank you for everybody who commented tonight and was a part of our discussion and a part of our conversation. And for those of you that have been there with us throughout all of this time, Aisha, who shares our page every single week for the last, God knows how many years. We got to send you a gift or like Our Show official hoodie or something. Why don't we have Our Show hoodies? We need Our Show hoodies. Okay.
We do.
So we need to
do.
Yeah, we need to do that, and we need to send those to, Aisha, even though she don't need one living down where she is.
Maybe one day when she come back up here.
Yeah, well, we got to get down there to see her too. So, but Wayne said we don't have the hoodies because he didn't make them for us. Well, we'll be talking behind the scenes, Wayne. But in the meantime, thank you to everybody, and we love you guys for watching. We love you guys for listening, and God willing, we'll be here next week. Be grateful and love on one another, everybody.
Please do that.
It's important. It's important. So
love you guys.
Bye.